Today on the Dirt Bike Track, we learned that the NYC blackout of 1977 that helped jumpstart hip-hop into the flourishing social movement it is today is all thanks to the Iron Cross Army. So tip your Kangol hat, raise your middle fingers to the police, and bow so deeply your cassette single tape of Audio 2's Top Billin' slips from the chest pocket of your check shirt, all in the name of the ICA, because in the face of fascism, impactful art can rise. Unlike what you're about to hear today, because I'm as impactful as a pillow thrown by a baby.
I'm Nicole.
And this is a Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Yes, guys, like I said, my name is James, and we're switching things up in 2025. We're not talking about things that cooked my goose. We're going to be talking about my goose that I'd like to cook. That's right. Every intro for the rest of the year until Mostly Speaking Spider-Man is done, I will be complimenting our friend Sean Marciniak, a.k.a. Goose Von Kaiser, in some form of a way or a thing, whatever. And here's a compliment. Oh, beep, 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 beep. He came to Nicole's 30th birthday celebration along with other friends, but he didn't need to do that. He could have just hid away in his hole. I don't know where he lives, except it's at Torchy's house, who was also there. But Sean, we thank you for being a friend indeed, okay?
Thank you for being a friend.
And speaking of 30-year-olds as well as a beautiful singing voice, you know her. She's the Bricks, the Nicole, the woman who prevents citywide blackout, the Jakis, the jackhammer.
Hi.
The jackhammer.
I think you should...
happy birthday. I'm sorry I didn't happy birthday you. That
Thanks.
feels rude to have done. Great job, by the way, turning 30. It's cool.
It's okay. I don't hold it against people for not remembering.
She should.
Because I'm really bad at it.
Someone messaged me a happy birthday, Nicole, on my cell phone, and I don't know who it is. So if that was you, yeah, thanks. It wasn't why are you messaging me?
Nicole told me never to text them ever again.
A 773 number is Chicago,
It's
right?
Chicago.
Yeah. I don't know who that could be.
Anyway, Nicole, you were saying something. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Wowzers. Already
noodle?
off
Was
to.
it noodle?
We did a mind meld game and we're just off, you know? What's up? What's the deal with that?
I don't feel off. I just was wondering why I asked you to compliment me, and then you said, all right, here's the bit. For the rest of the time I'm doing this show, I'm going to compliment a different man than you.
Well, because I was improving, baby.
So you were just saying no to my idea and doing yours instead?
Well, because you had said, like, hey, let's do compliment. Why don't you compliment things opposed to ranting? All right, let me restart it. Yes, guys, like I said, my name is James, and yeah, I have some bones to pick about fuckers trying to ruin my show and change it, and they don't even listen to the fucking thing.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that guy?
A little person name, it's getting bleeped.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
it
thought you were
wasn't
actually
you.
talking to me. I thought you were talking about me.
No.
How's he trying to ruin the show?
By just stressing me
Just
out
by existing. Existing, yeah.
Wait, is he like sending you advice?
He's not. I mean, he used to always say, you guys should not swear at all. And then I send him an instrumental album. And he's like, too much cursing. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. You didn't listen to it.
Who is this guy?
It's...
Oh, I didn't remember that was his name.
Yeah. Well, now people know it's someone you know.
I don't know anybody.
Oh, you don't? Holy shit.
Listen, I'm wearing a chicken hat, and I really wanted you to hear what you thought about that, but you didn't want to tell me any thoughts about the chicken hat except, I like it. Why would I talk about it?
Hey, guys, my name's James.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Why am I laughing? Because my best friend in the whole wide world is wearing a chicken on his head. There we go. And speaking of my best friends, you know him from other podcasts in this feed as well as podcasts in other feeds. He's MC Deep, aka the actor most wanted in Western Michigan, Tyler Bergquist.
You know, in some ways, it could be me. Kaya is definitely a very well-wanted actor out here as well.
Oh, I meant like criminally, you know?
Oh, yes, criminally. I have a very sordid past. I sorted that past out now, and so it's no longer sorted, it's sorted instead.
Hell yeah. Because I was going to say, let's sort through that past. You were born in November 1992 on possibly a dreary day. That's just what Western Michigan is in November.
And right now, the weather is pretty terrible. Speaking of, you know, I know the most interesting thing to talk about when we get together, but how is the weather out in Chicago? Pretty crappy?
I think it's like -3
freezing
right now.
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay, so it's even colder there. We're at about 4 or 5 wind chills of -20.
Okay.
So the wind chill at your place has to be like -1 billion, right? Because of the wind.
Oh, yeah. It's like where Akira was held in volume 2 of Akira.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about it as well.
Imagine being a little boy all alone, unconscious in absolute zero, you know?
I would love to be unconscious.
Damn, dude. Let me knock you over the head. Drag you around everywhere. All of a sudden, you're like, why am I just covered in pricker bushes?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wouldn't you like to know? Then I knock you on the head again.
Yeah.
You guys' dynamic is fun.
Top tier comedy.
Top tier. It's great. This is real, right? I thought you guys were doing some, role play.
No, this isn't role play. She wants to be unconscious, and I listen to women, okay? The takeaway for the next 4 years, listen to women. Even if they're trying to take away your rights, still listen to what they have to say.
Honestly, that was kind of the theme of Silent Sky as that we just finished up. It's like, hey, listen to women. They can tell you where stars are.
Yeah.
What?
And where scars guards.
No, we did Silent Sky. It's a Lauren Gunderson play about Henrietta Leavitt.
Yeah, he told us about this last time we spoke to him, Nicole.
No, I don't
think so. Yeah, I think we did.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, in the living room of your parents' house. Not yours.
Nicole's.
Nicole's. All 12 of the parents were there. She has 12. Did you guys know that she has 12 parents?
They are the go-to jury for all of Western Michigan.
They are. Do you guys have listenership in Michigan, like a contingent of?
Yeah.
Not folks that are mentioned from here, like just other Michigan people who kind of have a vague impression of what West Michigan is anyway.
Yeah.
And then, okay,
And
that's
then
cool.
Also, people now have, listeners of ours, have an impression of Western Michigan that is very informed by our personal opinions.
Of your specific experience in Western Michigan.
That it just has a constant gray cloud over it.
To be fair, most of that was like 10 years ago because you guys have been out of the game for a while.
Every time we go back, there's a gray cloud over it.
Yeah, you come back in the winter.
Yeah, and a metaphorical gray cloud, i.e. our hyper depression 10 years ago.
Now it's a micro one.
Yeah, oh yeah, drugs have helped, you know.
And they don't have drugs out here.
Oh, also, being away from Michigan has helped. Fuck that place. Fuck that
you might.
place.
It's so hard for me to get on that train, man, because I think you just were surrounded by bad parts of these zones because I fucking love Michigan, man. I do. I might be corny about it, but I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state.
All of my best friends who have died in Michigan, so I don't know, man.
I get that. And see, that's why it's fair because it's like I totally respect that opinion as well. It's like, oh, what do you even do? Right?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this recently. When I worked at Vivid Seats, it was that ticket company.
You monster.
Yeah,
I know.
a
Yeah,
terrible
you're
company.
a monster.
And
yeah, you sold your soul to a capitalist doing one of the worst things that you could possibly do.
I will say when I was hired there, they were saying like, oh yeah, we just provide VIP tickets. So I was like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm just glad that I know that even when you were there, you were kind of like telling people like, this is kind of not good, right?
So that's what I'm going to go to is I kept telling other people in management, like, this is bad. Like, you guys understand we're stealing tickets from the general public, or we aren't. We are facilitating a marketplace for people stealing those tickets, then inflating the prices. And they would always be like, no, James, like it's like, that's not what we're doing, this and that. But like clockwork, when they would quit and then a few weeks later, they would message me and be like, oh yeah, you want to know what, James? Like, yeah, it was sucky. Like, that's what we were doing. That's how I feel with our friends who still live in Michigan. Once they leave, they'd be like, yeah, man, that place kind of does suck.
Well, okay, see, and I think that's the difference, is because I think the things that you think that suck about Muskegon are probably the exact same things that I also think suck.
Yeah.
But because I am here, my focus isn't on those sucky things. I try to put my focus on the things that I do love about being here, right? Like, I love, drugs. I like them drugs. You know, like the nature aspect of it, the lake, when some of the beautiful state parks, and my lovely theater community of people that are actors, and we decide to, especially because we're a small contingent of folks who tend to believe all the same shitty things are shitty.
Yeah.
You're
like them damn DeVosses.
I do feel like that, man. I get so frustrated every time I see. I'm like, dude,
those fucking Hackleys.
Didn't I say I didn't want to talk about this kind of shit? But right before we were recording, let's not
then you
talk
started
about.
talking about what do you hate about Western Michigan, James. And I was like, all right, let me list it off.
That's not what I said. What I said was there are lots of things that I like. I know you're a hater, and I believe you invalidate your experience.
I hate that you're there because you could be here.
I get that. I've actually heard that a lot, and it's probably pretty cool. But man, I also like Detroit, but it's in Michigan still.
Detroit's fine. Like Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, and Marquette. Those places are pretty ripping, and everywhere else, get out of here.
Oh, I had fun in Traverse City a couple weeks ago. We're going to Kalamazoo on Friday, me and my improv folks.
Ooh. Oh, wait, why are you going?
To do a show.
Okay, wait, when?
Yeah, Friday.
This Friday or next Friday?
This Friday. In a few days.
Okay, dang, because our friend, our coworker, Craig Euler, he goes to Kalamazoo to teach and to do improv in Kalamazoo.
Oh, cool.
So I was
wondering,
wondering,
does he do it?
What?
Do you know where his sort of theater is?
I don't know, but I was wondering, like, hey, because if you are in Chicago and you've been taught improv in the last 10 years, Craig probably taught you. So he's like a big name in.
He probably knows Ian Brown then, who is one of our members.
All right, yeah, I'll
Ian Brown.
him.
Ian Brown was in Chicago for a while, and then he moved to Grand Rapids.
Ask him about Craig Euler.
I'll ask him about Craig Euler. He'll probably remember it. Incidentally, he is one of the gentlemen who told me that I should go to Chicago.
Hell yeah.
Like, you're really good at improv, man. You should go to Chicago. There's definitely a place for you at Annoyance or one of the other theaters.
Yeah, no, that's where Craig's always at.
Dude, love that. I mean, I'm a huge Mick Napier guy. Like, in general, I really believe and respect his philosophy on improv. Improvises, I call it my improv Bible. Mine is a Fallen Apart. I've read through it and marked it up so much.
And speaking about getting marked up, where am I going with this?
Karl Marx. Let's empower the proletariat to take down the bourgeoisie.
Hell yeah. And you want to know who's doing that in droves? A good man named Spider-Man. Tyler Berger, what's your experience with the web slinger at large?
Overall?
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man. I was always a huge Spider-Man fiend. I loved him since I used to watch his animated series.
Yeah.
The old 90s animated series. Still, the voice in that is the iconic Peter Parker to me. That's how I think of him as a voice. And then I never really read the comics. I just loved the character and watched the cartoon. And then I was really into the Sam Raimi films for sure. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I love him a lot. I want to be him a lot.
Nicole, what are your thoughts on the Raimi movies? I feel like we never talk about those, you and me.
I like the first one.
Okay. Did you see the second or third?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Have you seen Amazing Spider-Man?
I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Yeah, we really got to watch the Holland ones.
They're pretty good. I like them. I dig them. I mean, outside of like how much I dislike much of Disney's common storytelling, I like the characters and I like the way that these people portray them. I think they're fun.
I love Disney's story writing. He's always like, make that mouse whistle.
Yeah, I meant like the corporation at large, not
okay.
not the dead man.
That's what you think. He's somewhere in the hearts of millions, nay, billions.
Nay, trillions.
Because he made himself lead and then sprinkled himself into the water systems around the world so people could drink him and have part of him inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Part of Disney?
Uh-huh.
Inside of you?
And that lead makes a fart of Disney because when I eat lead, I start tooting.
Me too, baby. Me too. So I love Spider-Man. And I was actually excited because I have absolutely definitely heard about this show, not just from you, but I like just, culturally memes, whatever, just explaining that this existed because it's a very silly sort of jaunt that Japan went on with the old web slinger. And it's very fun in a lot of ways. And so that was all they got was Spider-Man, huh?
Yeah, that's it. They said, we'll license
the name
Spider-Man
and
to
the
you.
general look to him.
Uh-huh. They probably could have licensed other characters, but they're like, well, we can't afford that. It's like in America, when you get a Godzilla movie, if you want any of the other monsters, you have to license them individually.
Got it.
So, initial thoughts?
I was pretty excited because I knew it was going to be silly, but not in like I want to make fun of this kind of way, more in just like okay, it's kind of fun. It's campy, right? Like I like that he does his little poses, like always. When he's in costume, he's always crouching and doing like fingers out, claws, like he's about to like squeeze something, anything. He could grab your arm. He's a grabby kind of guy,
If only Chuck E. Cheese employees watch this, because it's like, when you're Chuck, you need to embody a rat at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was always embodying a spider. Even when it probably would have been faster for him to run regular. Yeah. He decided, no, I got to run crouched and sideways.
As a spider would.
Yeah.
That's how a spider does it, crouched and sideways.
At Michigan's Adventure, all the kids dressed up as Peanuts characters because those are mainly kids inside of those costumes. They should be embodying Linus at all times, like, oh, I'm like really self-conscious and whatnot. And whoever's...
And they should be shitting on themselves.
Yes. A cloud of dust and dirt and grime should be following that fucker.
And you stink.
Yeah. Well, Lucy, or who's the mean girl? Lindsay Lohan. What? She should be, punching kids nonstop, writing them in a burn book.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the idea of that was that Mean Girls, she became one, but she wasn't one. It was...
I want to see the movie where she goes full Mean Girl, and then, I want an Empire Strikes Back, where she has become evil, and then the rebel forces, those two kids that were like, hey, we should infiltrate them, they have to rise up, and then eventually, Lindsay Lohan picks up that lady who's in Hot Frosty now and throws her off a cliff after getting shocked real hard.
I like that the context of some of your bits require you to have knowledge of other media properties outside of the one we're discussing.
Yeah.
Just sort
everyone knows
around.
Mean Girls and everyone knows Empire.
And everyone knows Hot
Frosty.
Snowman. Hot Frosty.
Everyone should. We almost did a watch along of that, but there was no time this year.
Beautiful. So here we go. Here comes young gal. Of course, it's an age gap relationship. Dude is like, yo, I built all of Japan's infrastructure in this one thing. I transform power for all of Japan with this one transformer I built.
Yeah, don't put all your quizzicoatls into one basket. But I do need to set up what episode we're watching and all of that.
Yeah, I want to know a little bit about what we already know about the Spider-Man in this universe, because there has to be, it's all continued, like it's all one kind of long story, right? It's a series. It's a serial.
Not really.
But it's Monster of the Week stuff. But do you want to know what's the deal with this guy?
I kind of do.
Okay, so Takuya, that is our Peter Parker. He's a dirt bike guy, and his girlfriend takes photos for the journal.
Not him.
No, not him. He's just a dirt bike guy who helps her out by carting her around. So,
and it's not a motorcycle, it's a dirt bike?
Yeah, it's a dirt bike, baby. Ring, ring.
And he's obviously not Spider-Man with that giant plastic plate he put on the front of it.
Oh, no, that came before he became Spider-Man. That's just Coinky Dink. So, he sees his dad get killed by the Iron Cross Army, then he falls down into a cave and kind of dies. But luckily for him, there was a man, but actually a spider from Planet Spider, and he says, oh, I'm about to die, but this kid's young, and that guy's been there for thousands of years. I'll pump him full of Spider X blood, and then he'll get the powers of Spider-Man, and that's how it happens.
He'll get the powers. So Spider-Man is an established character for this gentleman. Like, he knows what the Spider-Man is.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Kind of passing along this mantle to Takuya.
Yeah. Kind of like Cardcaptor Sakura. Everyone knows there's a keeper of the Clow cards.
Right. I mean, because in energy, it's very, Power Rangers. There's a guy, and there's like, they've always existed as like defenders.
Uh-huh.
How did he not? So that's his whole deal.
Uh-huh.
Who are the recurring characters in this?
You got his sister, you got his little brother, you got his girlfriend, and then the Iron Cross Army. Also Interpol, not the band.
His girlfriend, is that the one who makes him buy all the groceries?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love that. How she just goes, hey, let me cook you dinner. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And she says, don't leave me hanging. And then she's like, yeah, you need to pay for this. It's only because she wanted a good meal herself.
And that's her. Is that his brother or her brother that they were eating food with?
That is his brother, but that wasn't him eating with her. That was his sister in the morning.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. And then so that was his family. And then his we never even got to see the meal his girlfriend cooked for him.
Yeah, we don't see it. We don't have time.
Typical. I'm getting ahead of myself though. So now, okay, so I just wanted to know which characters were the ones that were just for this one, or which ones were. And so this Kikyo girl, or Keiko.
Kyoko.
What's her name? Kyoko. She's for this one.
Yeah.
And she's a bad bitch.
Uh-huh. And then Professor Monster as well as Amazonis, they're in every episode as well.
Oh, Amazonis is like a long-term bad guy.
She's second in command, so I was like, why is she doing this field work? Get another woman to marry this man.
Right. Well, I also so we, from the beginning, even before she changes, she reveals herself pretty quick, but we already know that she does. That's her.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, and that's why we're like, oh wait, why is she here? Oh, why is she here? Oh, she married this guy. Too bad for him.
Uh-huh.
And her name is Psycho?
No, Amazonis.
I'm pretty sure her human name is Saeko, Saeko.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then makes sense.
I think do you think that's a pun?
Oh, it has to be.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a pun. Okay,
I liked
cool.
that. I didn't catch that. But
Yeah, her
can
name
I
is
do
Psycho.
a quick rundown of the episode and then we'll get in note by note?
No, yes, please. Let's go. We've done enough shit pissing around.
Today we are discussing episode 32 of Spider-Man 1977, entitled The Enchantress's Sweet Nothings. Real quick rundown. Amazonis has married this single man with 2 kids in order to get blueprints and secrets about a power plant dam that powers all of Tokyo.
A transformer.
Yes. So she wants those plans to blow it up so there is a blackout in Tokyo, much like they did in New York City in 1977 that did usher in hip-hop.
Too bad Spider-Man wasn't there to stop that one.
Oh, man. Actually, it's a good thing he wasn't there.
Yeah, actually, historically, it ended up being a good thing.
It would have taken much longer for hip hop to flourish into what it was.
I probably never would have gotten into it. I probably would have just stayed an actor for my whole time.
And then she tosses that dude over a cliff because he's like, I'm not showing you that. And then she's just trying to like get her kids to tell her where he kept plans. But then Spider-Man's onto it and he saves the day.
Like always, I'm guessing.
No, there's some times when he just sees the world burn and he's like, well, couldn't have solved that. Actually, no, in reality, there are many times when he's like, man, really wish I could have saved this child from becoming an orphan earlier because boy, oh boy, they love to kill parents. That's also a recurring theme. We've said it many times. There's probably been in the 32 episodes, maybe, I don't know, 15 parents get killed.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, man dies in this one. She throws him off of a ledge, and then we aren't told what she does with the body, but it goes away.
Yeah. She says, I'll kill you just like I killed the kid's dad.
To Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, we knew. Well, I mean, that wasn't like, oh my God, she accidentally confessed.
Well, maybe she's like, oh, I threw him over this, but there was, water in the bottom, so he's fine.
And that made him, oh no, he was dead. He passed away.
He got squished real bad.
He passed away. He passed away very handily passed away.
Deceased.
He's dead.
Nicole, he got splattered on the floor like a bug.
Like a budge.
It's crazy how if you threw an ant that high, it's not going to splat. It's just, it might even be good. We should have exoskeletons.
My favorite thing about when you're dating a person or marry a person and you're in a relationship with them is how when they ask about anything, you're compelled to, without provocation, reveal the fatal flaw in its design.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she like... She just gives up
ask.
so quickly. Like, she's like, I've been doing this long con. I'm going to ask him like 3 questions to try and get this answer out of him without suspicion. And he doesn't. And then she's like, fuck it.
I'll kill him.
I'll kill him.
Why did you need to marry him? Why couldn't you have just went and stole the plans anyway?
Dick. Oh.
James.
At the point of climax, Nicole could be like, hey, give me the nuclear codes. And I'd be like, I do know them for some weird reason. It's that nut clarity.
If she was fine to kill him, why didn't she just violently get her hands on this stuff? Why did she do a con at all?
Okay, so in her defense, one, Professor Monster's really been pressuring him because for 31 episodes, she's just been fucking up nonstop. So that's one reason. And 2, this might not have been a long con.
So you're telling me the reason that she did a long thing and married this boy, or even if it was a short thing and married this boy, was because she'd been fucking up. So she went, how about this? Instead of doing something directly, I'll make an even more complicated plan. That will definitely go correct. There's no failure points in this line, and it'll be the best way to impress Dr. Monster?
Yeah, Professor Monster. Get the title right. He did not go to school for that long.
Professor Monster.
I just want to say, crime of passion. She wasn't planning on tossing him over. This is like 2nd degree. This is manslaughter. Where maybe she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna toss you, but maybe he started wiggling. It's his fault he went overboard.
I mean, she did seem like, oh,
he
fuck,
was asking
I
for
didn't
it.
mean to do that.
Yeah, she loved him, maybe.
Wait, it was an accident that she accidentally transformed into Amazonas?
Yeah, because she got pissed and she's like, oh no, I showed my true colors. Crime of passion.
Got it. Okay, never mind. So it was a split decision when her plan started going awry.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm following the through line a little better now.
Plans went a catcher in a rye bread,
The plans went, hey, Bale.
Yeah, what's that mean?
Hey, Bale. Like when a plan goes wrong and like kind of goes like a little crazy.
I've never heard that
term. It goes,
term.
hey, Bale. Yeah, that's a regular one that we all say, and it's not messed up. It's a regular one. It's a regular one and everyone says it, and it's not messed up from a different one.
Nicole, do you think this podcast has gone a hey, Bale?
Yeah.
Oh,
For
damn. If you listen to the first episode of this and then this, you'd be like, yeah, when this go a hey Bale?
You could say that about literally every podcast ever, actually. Anyone that has a lot of episodes, you could say is very different than their first episode.
Dateline, I think that's pretty consistent.
That's not a podcast.
No, Dateline has a podcast where they do like true crime shit.
How many episodes have they done?
It's been going on forever, so I don't know, more than 100.
All right, I guess I'm wrong. Cool. That's fun improv, James. Really fun improv.
Well, no, then
for
you
me
say,
to bring up a silly, and then you to just be like, nah, actually, you're wrong. Here's one.
No, you say this. You say, okay, well, hold on. Let me jack into the mainframe real quick in the back of my head. Let me listen to every episode of Dateline. And then you say, well, James, you're wrong. They used to be on the side of the killers, and now they're not.
But we weren't doing like a skit. We're talking about a show. This is a discussion. This isn't a scene. If I knew we were in a scene,
and then why are you bringing up like, hey, the improv, you went awry with it. If we're not in a scene, we're in a conversation. We're having fun, and I'm just trying to be your friend.
And hey, maybe we break up in an episode? Is that do we have a breakup episode, and then a few episodes later I come back?
Then I guess the podcast's gone a hay barrel, and like our relationship,
it's gone hay bale.
Oh, what did I say? Hay barrel?
Yeah.
Gone a hay barrel.
What? Wait, what is the term? A hay bale?
James, I can't lie to you. The term is haywire. I just said hay bale to be silly.
Oh, yeah, that actually, I was like, I don't know. I'll go with it.
See, this is how much of a pioneer of language I am. People just believe me when I say dumb bullshit.
Yeah, do you know, what's the, hay bale?
Yeah, like a bale of hay.
Okay, I love that Hopsin and Swizz album, Hay Bale.
Oh my God, Hopsin and Swizz. I never really listened to much Swizz, but I liked Hopsin for a second. Now I'm annoyed by him.
Yeah, I think the entire hip-hop community is.
Even the music I liked from him, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Maybe you're so angry. Why are you so mad at everyone? Why is everyone around you a jerk? I feel like if everyone around you is a jerk, maybe you're the jerk, actually.
Let me quote our current poet laureate. Hi, Hopsin, you're the problem, it's you.
That wasn't a quote, but...
She said it. She has come on record and said, like, hey, Hopsin, you're the problem, it's you. Taylor Swift is going after Hopsin, so now the Swifties are going after him.
Yeah, that's a losing fight for Mr. Sin.
Uh-huh. Nicole, your thoughts on this whole conspiracy going on right now?
Zero. I have no thoughts.
What conspiracy?
A hay bale versus haywire.
I didn't realize this was a conspiracy.
You just made it so.
I'm one person who made a choice. Conspiracies necessitate that more than one person conspire, right? Like, isn't that the whole idea? Is it like...
It's already on r/conspiracy right now.
Oh, yeah. Reddit, the only trustable social media left.
4chan, whatever their subsect of categorization, I've never been on it. They're there.
I think Truth Social bought that one out.
Whoa, for real?
No.
Dang, conspiracy after conspiracy.
My thoughts are, I'm kind of cold and I'm sleepy.
All right, well, let's warm you up.
Let's pep this shit up. Tell us about the next part of the episode, Nicole.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, God. There's a child trying to go into a club because he says his sister told him to meet her there.
Daytime club.
You know, if he ever needed her. And I'm like, why the fuck would you tell your child brother to meet you somewhere only adults are allowed?
Because that's where she hangs. She goes.
That's where she hangs.
She has a nickname, Kyoko the Lightning Bolt.
Which they
like
never
father, like daughter.
explain.
Like she's like dancing like a lightning bolt and her dad does electricity.
I guess.
Well, the thing is I don't think Kyoko is going to come back, and we had about 20 minutes, so I think you were meant to draw whatever context from it you intended. I don't think it was necessary that you got the exact right one for that one.
Like when we call you Jackhammer, we have no context for that. You're just Jackhammer.
Yeah, I guess
there is context for that. She's a very powerful entity that breaks concrete with her karate skills.
Yeah.
Like a jackhammer does.
Yeah, jackhammers, like real jackhammers, use karate
Yeah.
to break concrete.
That's what I meant when I said that, yeah.
I would love if in like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like they did karate, but with like a jackhammer. That'd be like they're just thwipping it around like it's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So you should fund anime.
Oh, hell yeah. I got some ideas. How about we make the women even more naked?
How?
How
their
could they be
skin
more
off.
naked than
Yeah.
they are when they're nude?
The only anime I've seen that's done this properly is the Silent Hill movie, when they rip off that skin.
Yeah.
Got it.
And she goes, oh, I'm just so nude now.
I'm even nuder than I was when I had skin.
That's not strawberry milk coming out of my teeties. It's just blood.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, the
Spider-Man.
context of the lightning bolt thing was probably just to be like, hey, she comes here all the time.
Yeah. She's got a nickname.
Do you think that the reason it was filmed like that was because they couldn't? It was probably cheaper to film during the daytime, or do you think that they just have they just hang out at daytime clubs?
I think it's daytime clubs because they have shot from this same club at nighttime.
Okay. Wait, so this club is a regular place in the zone, but we have never seen Kyoko before.
No, but also we know it's the same club because clearly Toei probably owns this club, or they're just like, hey, we can rent this out for a day. Let's film all the club scenes we need, even though there's like 15 episodes in between.
Yeah, because that was they were like efficiency, like
Yeah.
they were on shoestring budgets.
Yes.
I'm sure, because their costume, it was a pretty rough one, man.
And once you get into like episode 25, it's like, well, they haven't cleaned this suit in 25 episodes. Then the next episode, you're like, holy shit, they cleaned it. It looks so nice.
I mean, in like one of the first episodes, the villain monster thing is shot far away, and it's like just an action figure on a string. Like,
And the reason why we've said this before, but every single fight now is the same, like giant robot fight is the same now because they just lost or someone stole the suit for the Marveler.
Really?
Leopardon, whatever his name is. Yeah.
That's really funny.
They couldn't afford to make another.
I loved that when Psycho, aka the Amazonas, sent her goons into this club or to looking for this gal. They were just so obviously goons.
Yeah.
They're just sitting in the
Yeah.
back, and then they even had that like goon grin. Yeah, I'm
And they
gonna
had
get him for you,
guns.
bro. Yeah. They did have guns. And then for one moment, while Spider-Man was fighting them, they had these weird claw gloves on.
Yeah, so that's how you know that they are of the, what are they called? The Iron Cross Army. They
Yeah.
just, like, they're technically robots, I think. So when you see, like, he can see them as they are. He's like, oh, they're Iron Cross Army. They got those metal gauntlets.
But then later they didn't, and that was because most people can't see that they got robot hands.
I believe so, yeah.
Cool.
I do
Cool.
want to back up when why do I always Shinko, I think is her name, and the sister and the girlfriend, they show up. They come out of their car, and then this 3-lady gang comes up, and they're like, hey, what's yous doing? Is that your car?
Is that your car?
They pull out a knife, and they're like, hey, we're gonna stabs you if we don't get to do a joyride. And then the Kyoko comes up, and she's like, hey, fuck you guys. And I wrote down that Nicole would submit to an all-woman street gang. She'd be like, oh, yes, mommies.
I would join it.
I mean,
Yeah, you're that cool, yeah. And then they're like, oh, whoa, Kyoko is like,
I'd be like, yeah, guys, where are we going?
he's like, you don't need to take my car. I'll just drive you.
Yeah.
So then the girlfriend, Hitomi says, oh, wow, I knew Kyoko in high school. She's changed. And it's like, yeah, people change after high school as they should. And some people become late in life orphans, and that's going to make them change.
Well, at this point in time, Kyoko isn't quite sure she's an orphan. They just don't know where their dad is. It's been a couple days.
But she feels it in the pit of her stomach. Something's happened. You can tell when your dad's dead.
That's
true.
So they go there, and then we get this scene where Spider-Man's girlfriend tells him, "Oh, you have to buy all this food for me to cook." And I like that even in Japan, Spider-Man is very poor. He pulls and paces, and he's like, "Well, now I don't have any money anymore. God damn."
I'd love a rich Spider-Man, though.
So Amazonas, she must have powers. Does she have like convincing powers or like mind control stuff? Or is it just that like every sort of incidental folk in this show are like literally clueless, trusting exposition machines? Like, because when he starts going to look around, they were like, "Oh yeah, we didn't call the police because his wife said not to."
Well, that makes sense, because if you went up to someone and they're like, "Yeah, they've gone missing," if she just says, "Oh no, he does this, like he'll be back," you'd be like, okay. You see this in true crime docs when a wife or a husband kills the spouse. They're like, "Oh no, like this is like, we don't need to call right now." And then after a week, you're like, "Wait, why didn't the wife want to be called?" And it's like, "Oh, because she's the one who did it."
Okay, but the worst audience for that is the people at his job when they know him to be like a boss who takes this place very seriously. He wasn't just some guy. They would also know his character, and they would know that this is out of character for him to marry someone brand new, and then disappear. And without saying anything to them about not being at work for a while. Like to me that all of that together would make me go, I wouldn't trust this woman. They just got remarried and he disappeared immediately and he's never done this before.
Sometimes that pussy just drives you crazy, you know? You change. Just like after high school, you change. After you get married to a pretty foxy lady, you might go, all right, yeah, I'm peacing out.
She opens up the safe that's already opened.
Yeah.
Bad safe, terrible safe. But it probably was already cracked.
Oh, you asked if she had any powers. She can change outfits real quickly. And I think she's just got that Riz, that aura drip.
Got that aura drip. Then we go to the lair.
Yeah, Professor Monsters.
Professor Monster's lair with Professor Monster and Spaghetti Head.
Electric Worm.
Electric Worm. I did write 2 notes later. His name is Electric Worm.
Spaghetti Head is more accurate, though.
He's terrifying, actually, right? Like he's a fucking terrifying creature.
Yeah, he's gross.
He's just a head full of worms.
Yeah.
And does he always? What are his powers? Does he have worm powers?
We don't know. This is the monster of the week.
Oh, he was new.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't listed in the people I listed off that are here all the time.
Who did you say were? It was
Amazonas and Professor Monster.
Oh, I thought you said. I thought I remember there being a third person. I thought that he was like the third guy. The funniest, the craziest thing was how very little he was the monster of the week.
Yeah.
He did not play an impact.
Oh yeah.
On the story in any way. He shows up and is beaten immediately.
There are times when it's not until the final battle that we see the monster of the week, and he just grows big real quick. Immediately killed, and that's it.
But that's not uncommon in these type of shows though too, where I remember being like watching Power Rangers, which I know is not Sentai, but when they were using the footage from the Sentai shows, it would be just like the monster would show up just at the end for only like a second, and then they have to beat him.
That's probably more so because the footage that they had of the monster, they're like, well, that doesn't make sense for a Western audience, so let's just not use any of that. So then all we have is the giant monster fight.
Hell yeah. Why are they ducks?
We don't, they're birds or something. We don't know.
There's no lore about why the sort of putties are ducks.
So I believe they're crows, and Nicole has posited that crows eat spiders like birds do eat bugs. So it could be that. We don't know.
That's
but you could
very
also,
loose.
oh wait, I was going to say, you could also say why putties, but there is a reason, because that guy makes monsters out of clay.
Out of clay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they're just like low level monsters, he's like, well, I'm not going to like put any dressings on it. No, they're
I'm just gonna be a basic form of a boy.
Yeah. Throw them in the kiln. They're good to go.
Oh God. He never doesn't run dumb.
Oh, yeah.
It's so, but I'll tell you what, though, I really dig the fighting. I dig the way he jumps around like that. Spider rope, spider net.
Spider string.
Spider string, and not spider rope, spider string. He does some work with all that stuff.
Also, when they're trying to find the blueprints, Professor Monster's saying, hey, we need the blueprints so we know where to put the time bombs. And it's like, no, just put the time bombs everywhere. And
That's
then
true.
it will for sure blow up this entire thing.
But if we're gonna believe the fiction of a spider-powered man in Japan, we have to believe the fiction they created when the gentleman said that there's flawless and nothing can defeat it except for one little thing.
I guess you're right.
He did say up at top, he said, there's only one flaw in the whole machine, and I won't tell you what it is. And then she's like, tell me, motherfucker! And then she, kills him.
She should have been sucking his dick and then said hey, wink, wink, you're about to blow it. Tell me this. And he's like, oh, no, I can't. And then she's like, well, I guess, my mouth is getting a little bit of lockjaw right now. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was just like that.
It could have worked.
Could have.
That's how so many empires have fallen. Is from getting their dick sucked and about to blow, and then the lady says, tell me them secrets.
Tell me them secrets.
That's how 300 ended. That's how Gladiator ended. Gladiator 2 ended.
Have you seen Gladiator 2?
No, I haven't seen Gladiator 1, but I know how they both end.
How do they end?
Fellatio.
James, I think you're watching the wrong versions of these movies.
Yeah, it's called Gladiator, a porn parody.
That's what the name of my favorite. I like how you watch all these pieces of media, but they all have the same subtitle, and you just don't question that.
Well, I guess I saw the sequel. I guess not the I saw an installment, like a very late sequel of 300 because it was 369.
Yeah. It was the 69th version of that.
And then I also watched another sequel called 420.
That one was a lot more chill, dude.
Yeah, they hotbox the battlefield, and then they're like, hey, man, why are we fighting?
Dude, just like those weed heads are. The anti-fighting weed heads.
Blaze that blizzy.
Blaze that blizzy. Blaze that glizzy. Really?
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fellatio, glaze that glizzy,
Oh, shit. Yeah, come on your own penis. I guess you glaze it with spit.
That was what I meant, but yours is, I guess, part
with
of it.
With pre-cum, you could do that too.
You could do whatever you want. It's yours. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it.
Yeah,
even if I'm not interested. If I'm not interested, you don't have to do it to me. You have to do it away from me. But
and if you're watching the anime I enjoy, glaze it with some goddamn strawberry filling.
What do you watch? What do you like? Food anime?
No, because they're ripping the skins off to get real naked.
Yep. Because real nudity is without skin.
Oh God, and a skeleton even better.
Yeah, they give me boners.
Oh yeah, that's why you call it a boner. Every penis has a bone in it. Okay, just like a raccoon's penis.
I thought that was a great joke, and then you kind of explained it. You didn't have to tell them. I know, it's boners.
And you're a boner, dude.
I did not make any mistakes during this entire podcast.
Yeah, dude, we don't make mistakes. All of this is intentional.
None of this is boners. No boners here at all.
Also,
That's my favorite use of the word boners.
It cuts together well. I do my job in the edit.
Spider-Man was never going to lose.
No.
This fight. Is there ever peril for Spider-Man?
I know in a couple episodes, because we're getting into the end game, there will be. And I think there's been times when he's been like poisoned, and it's like, oh, how's he going to get out of this?
Is there a to be continued at the end of every one of them, or was that special for this one?
Oh, no, there is one episode where it doesn't happen. Episode 42, because it's the final episode.
Okay, so it happens on every episode except for the end.
Even the movie has a to be continued.
You're getting close to the end, huh?
How
does that feel? What's been your favorite Sentai? I think I've asked this before. I think you said Jew Ranger you really liked.
No, Die Ranger is the best. Like, it's the first one we did. You came on it for the kitten sword.
Yeah. Yep. Nice.
That was a good one. Nicole is back. You didn't even know she left because we peppered in her laughter throughout.
because when we hang out, she's mostly laughing at us because we're so funny together. Me and James, we're a comedy duo akin to Andy Dick and anybody else who's playing with Andy Dick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Tom Green when they sometimes
Andy
did.
Dick and Tom Green.
Yeah.
That's us.
Tyler's the Andy
God.
Dick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He's so much funnier. That's why I'm
He's so
complimenting
much funnier
you.
than Tom Green.
Nicole, what were you up to?
What you?
Do I need to answer that?
No,
Yeah, no,
was,
you.
was it
Of
like
course
a phone
not.
call?
Why would you ask that question?
I was gonna shit myself.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a hospital call.
No.
All right. I was like, is everything okay?
Also inappropriate to talk about on the podcast.
Well, no. Everyone knows her hospital issues right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty transparent about that.
Uh-huh.
I had an issue with
Shitting yourself.
Yeah, that. Thank you for reminding everyone. What was it yesterday on the watch along for House?
Yeah, but that will be coming out tomorrow for the listeners.
When we recorded, I got a phone call. So that's why he was asking, because I was supposed to get an MRI on Friday, but then they called me and they were like, actually, even though you were told that we take your insurance, we don't take your insurance. So then I had to cancel the appointment and then call the hospital and be like, hey, what the fuck? And then they're like, whoopsies, we'll call you back tomorrow.
And then Nicole was like, I know who I should have called was Mario's brother.
And I said, wow, I fucking hate it here in America.
Uh-huh. So that's why you're calling Mario's brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, You guys get so deep in the politics. You guys are so brave on this show.
No, oh my God. So we recently started rewatching Community.
Yeah.
And like, especially in season 1, Britta, I turned to James and I was like, wait, fuck. I was like, James, am I Britta now? Like, did I turn into Britta? And
we
he
all
just
are.
like smiled and I was like, no, like, is this what I sound like to people?
Dude, I get it though. Like, I feel like that way too. But like, the thing is I was talking to Kaya about it too. I was like, I think if it weren't for the fact that she gets so annoying about certain things, Britta's actually cool as hell.
Yeah.
Like, Britta's fucking sick as hell, dude. She's annoying, but she's like cool and into cool things and has right opinions.
I'm season 4, Britta.
Yes,
Explain.
she's the worst.
No, she's not. She's like doofy, you know?
Yeah, she's just trying to be nice to try. I don't think we watched the 6th season, but we watched 3 through 5.
We watched the 6th season together.
I think he's saying him and Kaya.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah,
so
we
it's
have.
time,
You've
yeah.
never
we watched
seen the 6th season? What are you
I
talking
thought
about?
I hadn't, but now that I rewatched the 5th and then it didn't end like I remember that, I was like, oh, I must have seen the 6th because I didn't realize that it was 6th season where they went into the basement and found the sort of the archives.
Yeah, the Chris Elliott.
Well, I don't want to say Kaya.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I asked this to Nicole, but I don't think she had a concrete response. What Community character and from what season do you think I am?
Me.
No, you just didn't like the response I
Nicole
gave
said
you.
Chang from every season.
Yeah, like if you took from every season and like squished it into one person.
But not season 3.
Oh man, James, that's so good of an answer.
Not season 3.
You're right. I don't think you have the sort of organizational capacity to organize, but I think if you distilled all of it into one guy and kind of distilled away the bad, the parts that made him a real evil man, there's a lot of your personality in that, the way that gentleman behaves.
You want to know? I could militarize children. You're right.
That was the part I was saying that went away, but I guess that's the part you want.
Yeah, I could do it.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, that was what you were trying to do with all your music. You were trying to radicalize the youth, bro.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you were always like, yeah, dude, let's get people love and murder.
Z and Eric start hiring teens because they're cheaper labor, and I'm like, yeah, guys, I militarized them. The Chicago comics workforce is now an independent militia.
We're a private military.
Uh-huh.
So you agree with me?
I actually
Yeah.
that tracks to me a lot because there's too much jazz going on in James for him to like be as precise as Abed, but he there's not a lot of straight manness in him either, so he doesn't really fit with the other guy. You know, I think he's also kind of the inoffensive parts of Pierce too, where he's just kind of a little curmudgeonly sometimes. But Chang hits a lot.
Okay.
I'm saying your personality is clearly very deeply informed by this television show.
Yeah, baby. You want to know who you are? Subway. You want to know who you are? Subway.
Like the character?
Yeah, the
Subway?
character
Yeah, the
Subway and the
character
character
Subway, yeah.
Subway.
I'm actually kind of okay with that. He's like a himbo.
Okay. You are a himbo, Nicole, but who thinks for themselves.
Or do I?
You're like Britta and Subway combined.
Okay.
When they
You're
were
the you're the child that they never got to have.
Yeah. Because you know that liberal witch uses Plan B and probably condoms.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at. That was yep. It wasn't because they were torn apart.
They
by-
could have, creamed in each other.
I think it's Chrome.
Okay.
I think they
Google
could've-
chromed in each other.
They could have no Chrome. You're getting rid of the ed. They
Okay.
chrome in each other.
Crumbed.
Oh, dang.
Subway?
They chrome in each other.
Oh, chroming me.
Nope. It's still come because present tense is come, past tense is chrome.
Oh,
Or
okay.
well, no, present tense is cream. You said they could have creamed. Present tense is cream.
He chroming
Past
me.
tense is chrome.
He once chroming me. Yo, remember when you chroming her? It doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. There's plenty of words that run and ran. That's a way that they just change the
Okay.
vowel sound and make it a past tense.
You just have to get used to it.
Yeah. What's the past tense of spank?
Spunk.
Spunk. Exactly. That is correct. It's not, but it is now.
Just like you, I can make words
I was spunk as a
change.
child. Were you spunk?
Oh, I was spunk before I became a child. Because that's chrome, baby.
What?
It's,
When you were an infant?
No, like we were all spunk once. That's another word for
Okay,
cum.
got it.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it
not.
is.
No, that's not what that means, though.
Uh-huh.
Spunk is the noun.
You're
bud.
spunky, kid. Oh, yeah. All of
Do you
us
know
were
the parts of
spunky.
speech, James? Do you need me to give you a refresher on the parts of speech?
The parts of speech, yeah. You got the thesis statement, and then
Incorrect. You're
you go
already
from
wrong.
there.
You already got it wrong.
Etc. and so
Yeah,
forth.
the introduction, which is then the thesis statement.
That's
sentence
not a part of speech.
of a speech. And then you ramble on for about, 30 minutes until people get bored and start leaving.
I didn't say the parts of a speech. I said the parts of speech.
Oh, okay, because I was going to be like, Mr. Marshall taught me speech. I'm pretty sure it stuck. And it starts with the thesis statement, and then it goes on for about 30 minutes of rambling.
That's what he said, huh?
Just like a podcast.
No, just like our president, baby.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
thought
was
we
getting
weren't
at.
talking about that.
It's not. I'm talking about the president of Toei.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he rambles on all the time.
Do you guys bleep out when you say the president too? This was just me asking.
I
if
do.
that-
Yeah,
if you
I've
do
been
that.
bleeping him out. Yeah.
Let's just misgender him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
That'll really stick in its craw.
I told Nicole, I was like, there's only two genders now, penis and gina. Those are the two.
Yeah.
You put that on a legal document, penis or gina, nothing in between.
This is gonna be like a long string of beep for this whole thing,
Yeah.
so that no one knows who we're talking about.
Gina.
Did I tell you when I did improv with those kids and I trusted them not to get racist and I brought in one of those like rice patty hats and the first thing the kid did was put it on his head and go China, 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 and I
What kids are you talking about?
Okay, so I was a camp director at a Boy Scout camp, and I was teaching theater. And one of the things that I did when we had time after we got the merit badge was like to, play improv games that were fun, right? And I just kind of was, put on a hat and do a silly voice thing. And I had a big box of hats, different hats, silly hats, whatever. And one of them was like a rice patty hat. I just was like, whatever, maybe they'll do something interesting. I didn't even think about it. I trusted in the faith of children. And the first thing a kid does is put that hat on and go, China, 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 China.
You smacked that kid, didn't you?
He was about 7, my bud. So
okay. Well, you should learn.
I'm not going to hit a stranger's child.
Well, that's why you adopt him first and you smack him.
Okay.
No, the child was not struck. I did not strike the child.
Not like Patrick Stewart's.
No, I struck his child. I struck that child.
If I would have had that rice patty hat, I would have tipped it and said, "Howdy, partner."
That would have been actually a really funny joke.
Yeah.
You would have been great at that game. Unfortunately, it wasn't you, and it was a child who just picked up the hat and then just yelled the name of a place where he thought maybe people who wore this hat lived.
Or I would have put it on someone else, and then I would have been like, "Oh, you're finally here," and then I look at them and I say, "Oh, this is Burger King. Like you're not dressed for Burger King. You put on the wrong hat," because that had happened to me before. Not a rice patty hat, but I did come in just with, I think, a Batman hat on to Burger King, and they're like, "You need to go home and get a new hat, like the hat you should be wearing." I was like, "Dang it!"
Oh yeah, because you were working there at the time.
You pull from reality. We need to get back to the show.
Yeah, we do. I mean, what haven't we gotten to yet? We're pretty much we've gone through most of the action.
Yeah, so they finally get to the final battle scene. They're at
He calls out Marveler Leopardon.
And then he saves the day. He kills the worm-headed guy.
In a moment. The worm-headed guy, they just sort of blow up into big size for half a second. Yeah. He shoots a laser at him, kills him, miss over.
Bye-bye. Then he says, "Hey, kids, you're going to be fine, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll lean on each other now that we're orphans."
Yeah, And then Japan really wants you to know that it's okay if your parents die.
Yeah, it's happened in so many of the episodes.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They just want you to know, it's fine if it happens. It sucks at first, but you'll get over it as long as you lean on your family.
In Steven Universe, Greg should have died. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have died in episode 20 of season 2.
No.
Why?
How dare you?
Because then it's like, hey, guys, you are your own mom, but your dad's dead. That's fine. Lean on your support group, and that's these 3 badass women.
He did that, though. He did that and still had a father, which I think is also an important lesson.
No. You need to learn that loss can also be love.
I think they taught that.
Yeah.
I think they did learn that.
Some kids don't have a mom and a dad. Some kids don't have a
but
dad.
some kids have both.
I think you just hate dads.
Everyone is different.
I'm surprised
That's
Nicole
part
isn't
of the
on
idea.
this. Nicole should be like, "Yeah, Greg, get out of here. He loves this kid." Nuh-uh. Don't believe that.
Why do you want bad things for people?
Nicole famously saw Into the Spider-Verse or whatever the first one was and was like, "I don't believe this dad loves this kid." Nuh-uh.
That's not okay.
What?
You're
what
like,
does that
being
What does that have to do
supportive?
with this?
Because I just thought Nicole would have been on board for, Greg dying.
No, it was, this father is apologizing for how he acted. That's not real. That was my thing.
Yeah, and then said, "Oh, I can't believe he loves him. This dad
I
deserves
think
to
the
die."
joke there is that it might not be real for some people, but some people it does happen in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in movies. Not IRL. But speaking of IRL, does anyone have any more notes?
No.
He was never gonna lose. There was no peril for Spider-Man. The fights finished very quickly. Those are the last 3 things I wrote.
All right. So, Tyler, usually in this goddamn... Oh, wait, let me start over. Tyler.
I am Tyler.
Usually in Spider-Man, we got derailed. I needed this for a TikTok clip. Tyler.
I am Tyler.
When Spider-Man usually gets his powers, he gets bit by a radioactive spider, gets spider powers. So if you were to be bit by an animal, what animal would you want to be to get some powers like that? And how would you use those to take down the Iron Cross Army?
Okay. All right. 2-parter. First part. I mean, fuck, dude, I would want it to be a spider because I want spider powers. I've wanted to be Spider-Man forever, but I mean, if I had to pick one
hold
that's
on.
not spider.
No one has ever picked spider. I think you can choose spider.
I fucking hell yeah, dude. I would love to be a Spider-Man. Are you kidding me?
Hell
I
yeah.
fantasized about web slinging my whole life. So yeah, I would take Spider-Man.
All right, but we want you to kind of like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Boy. They kind of have different incantations of Spider-Man's powers instead of just like, hey, I have spider. Oh, you can keep the spider sense. Instead of just like I can flip
so you're
webs
saying
and
what
whatnot.
kind of what powers do I want from a spider? Okay. I want to shoot webs.
All right.
And I want to swing on them.
All right.
And that's mostly it. I don't really need to whoop ass. I would love the spider sense, like the kind of like knowing what's going on real fast and quick, like real quick ass brain. But I don't need to be mega strong. I don't need to
crab walk everywhere.
I don't need to walk crouched and sideways everywhere.
You don't need a redhead lover.
I mean, that's a tough one for me to say because I do like having that.
You're pretty much Spider-Man already.
I'm pretty much Spider-Man already. Yes, I do have a redheaded lover, just like Spider-Man does, and that makes me just like Spider-Man.
Hell yeah! And how would you use just webs to take down the Iron Cross army?
Does the Iron Cross rely a lot on technology?
Yeah.
I would put webs in all of their mechanics to make them gushy and not work right.
Okay. They also operate on oxygen. You could just shoot it down their throat and then they're dead.
I could shoot a bunch of. Yep. I do Spider-Man's powers, but they're like. How do you use these to kill men? And the way that I do it is I grab people by their throat and I shoot a bunch of web fluid down their throat and it clogs it up and there's no way for them to get it out and they just choke to death.
Yeah, you plug their nose up.
And that's why no one fucks with me.
So yeah, Nicole, deal with him.
They choke on your web.
Oh yeah,
they choke
baby.
on their web, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's what I want.
Thank you so much for being here, MC Deep. Do you have anything to plug?
Nope. Show's over, so actually pretty much not doing fucking anything really. Again, for anyone who hears this and has any interest, any of the shows that go on through the Muskegon Civic Theater organization, I will always plug those guys. Run by three of my best friends, and I love them, and they're really doing a great thing for Muskegon to keep the arts alive, choosing fresh new shows and to bring new perspectives and interesting stories to this area. So, if you find yourself in West Michigan, in Muskegon area, come check out a show.
Check out a show and then
going.
Leave.
Don't, come out. We'll show you a good time at Walker's. We'll have a drink at the Delta where you're staying in downtown Muskegon.
Okay, find a show, then get a drink, and then leave.
You can leave whenever you want.
And then egg Reese Puffer High School while you're at it. No, I'm kidding. Egg the government building.
I just don't have the same experience of a lot of these things that you do. I mean, I'll go ahead and egg the high school, but I don't blame the school. I blame all the kids I went to school with.
Okay.
I blame the parents, bro.
No, I blame the kids.
Yeah, kids without any context. Those are the real villains, not the parents who refuse to give them the proper context.
Some kids are just shitheads, and they're
that's in their nature.
They're not redeemable. You gotta just cut some kids loose and get the fuck out of there. That's the Muskegon way.
That's the 300 way, baby. Throw the weak ones off a cliff.
Hell yeah. That's what Muskegon does by, saying like, why are all these kids doing drugs? And it's like, well, you don't have any spots for the kids to hang.
Yeah, they don't. You go to El Dia Coffee, I guess.
Oh yeah, go to a place where you have to spend money.
Yep, true enough. Although there's a lot of really fun, cool shit going on downtown where you don't have to spend money, things in the park, a lot of cool shit. Parties in the park, they do it in the summertime.
Do we have an all ages venue yet?
Venue?
Yeah.
Like what for like music venues, like specifically to like do music shows?
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of places that do all ages shows now. Yeah, I mean, but there's no like dedicated all ages venue.
Well, get that, and I'll stop being so hard on you, Muskegon. Nicole, what you got to plug?
I know you're right, man. I wish capitalism didn't get in the way of that kind of shit.
Yeah, AKA that's why you egg the government building.
While wearing a chicken hat. What do I have to plug? darlinghomebody.com. Go there and purchase my wares. Follow me on social media, I guess. I don't know. It's like, it's a hellscape now.
Check out
We
her
lost
sticker
the
club.
internet to capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism is ruining everything. Capitalism has burned down the whole country.
You know, look into mutual aid. How do you do that in your community?
Yes.
Do that, maybe. That's my plug.
Buy a big plot of land with all of your homies and start a commune.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just stream my music wherever you're listening to music. Just let it play throughout the night. You already got the service. Do that. Why not? That supports me in the best way possible.
Yeah, if you're not listening yourself, put it on mute in the background. Just
Yeah.
play it. Especially the ones that I'm on, which I think are maybe one. Am I on any of your Spotify stuff?
Yeah, you're on the Modern Myth.
Yeah. Check out that stuff.
Hell yeah,
Man,
brother.
I wish I would have had it in me to do more verses for that, because some of those verses were pretty kick-ass that I did.
They're very good. And hey, guys, head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday is the aforementioned Torchy, Sean, myself, and Nicole discussing 1977's House, a magnum opus of Japanese filmmaking. It's the first and probably only time we will ever cover a Criterion film on a podcast. And if you're a $10 patron over at
That's just not
patreon.com/ what?
That's just not true.
Yeah, we might cover Chasing
Our
Amy.
Godzilla movies are Criterion.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. We have covered Criterion Godzilla
What does that even
before.
mean?
What? Criterion?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a complete... films of artistic merit. It's a Criterion collection.
It's like a company
Yeah.
that puts out DVDs and shit.
Okay.
But if you're a $10 patron over on patreon.com/MLM pod, you get monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon, and you get shout outs on every single free feed podcast. Let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin, from the Rom Complex as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2, and from the Speed Radio podcast, a podcast and all things Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Tay, aka Zinny D. And I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Tyler.
And we've been
Mostly Speaking Sentai.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit MLMpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. What were things that bothered me, and what were things that annoyed me this week, or relative?
Wait, is this in regard to the television program?
No, in regards to just everyday life.
He's trying to find a weird segue.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
we're
inauguration.
Yeah, we could do
segueing.
something like
no,
that.
Please don't.
Okay.
I just don't want to hear about it. I know.
Tyler wearing
I'm
a
informed.
chicken
and it's
hat.
terrible.
No.
I am wearing a chicken hat. What the
No.
fuck? What do you mean no?
That
No.
doesn't bother me.
Why does
I
that
like
have to be?
it.
Why do you want to talk about something that
'Cause I
bothers
go-
you? Why don't you instead?
My name is James, and here's a
Why don't
rant
you-
that I do.
Why don't you talk about a thing you enjoy instead? Why don't you, instead of ranting about a thing you don't like, you tell me that you
What
like
about
my
this
hat
big
and tell me
TV?
all the things that you like about my hat?
Oh, yeah.